What's up, everybody? It's Ryan with Tighter Lines Fishing. In this episode, we're going to go over some of the new craze swim baits and glide baits that everybody's diving down a big rabbit hole, and it kind of taking the fishing world by storm. So I'm going to kind of go over some of the ones that I throw and the setup that I use, my rod and my reel, the line, all that good stuff. So hope you like the episode and stay tuned. Okay, guys, so I'm out here in my garage. I got my big swim baits out. I wanted to show you guys and kind of go over some things and show you the rod that I'm using and the setup. So anyhow, before I do that, I kind of wanted to go over certain things that if you're in an intermediate range, or you're just starting to fish and you look at these baits, they're very intimidating. They're big and they're heavy. So having said that, big and heavy means a bigger rod, heavier line, all that good stuff. So if you think you're going to take one of these 9-inch glide baits and put it on a spinning reel with 10-pound fluorocarbon and just whip it out there and retrieve it, I mean, you could try that all day long, but it's not going to be a recipe for success. So I wanted to take a couple minutes and kind of go over some things when you're first getting into them, because it is intimidating. Number one, how big they are. Number two, the price of them. They're not cheap. So when you lose one, it hurts. So the ability to fish them and not lose them is, goal number one. Goal number two is to catch some fish on them. So anyhow, a couple of different ones that I'm fishing right now is the Hangover from 6 Cents. It's a soft swim bait. They're about 6 1/4 inches long. I know everybody's heard of them. They come with a treble hook up top, or you can put it on bottom. They're a line through swim bait. Pretty versatile. The actions on it's a little different. I mean, that's a whole nother episode. There's a lot of people who don't like how they swim and make modifications to them. But it's a good bait. Also, this is a 6 Cents draw. It's a 9-inch glide bait. All right, it's very heavy. I think it's almost close to 4 ounces, 3.75 ounces. So very heavy bait. Has a good action in the water, but it comes with a plastic tail. That's a good one to throw. They come in all different colors. One of the most popular ones, this is a Spro Shad 180 in bone. Okay, another glide bait, jointed glide bait. So those are the main ones I've been throwing. There's a bunch of them on the market. I mean, some of these swim baits go up into the $1,000 a bait if you get them custom made. There's more affordable ones, like the Berkeley Nessie makes a soft swim bait. I think it retails for like $15 or so. The Hangovers aren't bad. These are like I want to say they're $25 or something like that. I'll put the link in the comments, and you guys can go check them out. But this the Chad Shad was about $60. I think the draw retails for like 80 or so, something like that. I don't know. I'll drop in the comments. You guys go research them. But having said that, those are some of the ones I'm throwing. I've been catching some good fish on the Hangover baits, and a couple on my Chad Shad. So one of the things with these big baits is, I kind of touched on it, is where you throw them. They are designed, in all honesty, if you don't have forward-facing sonar, you can fish them, right? But if you don't know what you're throwing at and what's underneath that water, it is really a recipe for you to lose one of these things. In a brush pile, a lay down, if you don't know what's underwater in a structure that's sitting down there, and you're throwing a 9-inch glide bait through it, it's going to get hung up. So, you know, it's you can do it without forward-facing sonar, but the name of the game is to throw these where you see a fish and you're throwing at that fish, trying to actively get it to react and follow and eat your swim bait or your glide bait. So having said that, the setup that I'm using this on, you want a heavy rod. This is a 8'1" Dobbins Fury. It is it's basically a punching rod. Has a fast action tip on it. It handles up to almost 4-ounce baits. So it's a very stiff rod, and it can handle these big baits, right? I have a hangover tied on this right now, but the reel that I have it on is a Daiwa Tatula. This is a 200 series rod, so obviously it has 200 yards of line in it. And I put 20 or 22 pound fluorocarbon on this thing. So it's heavy fluorocarbon, there's no braid on it. When you're throwing these big, huge baits, you know, big bass love them, but there's also other big fish that love them, like muskie. So if you're not throwing a heavier line, it's very easy to get bit off by a pike or a muskie, or basically anything that's not a bass that has really sharp teeth. So and you're going to lose that. So I would recommend, not only for that reason, but you want that abrasion resistance on that heavier line. So if you do come through some brush or something, it's not going to cut your line off. So heavy line, 20 to 22 pound fluorocarbon. I would say a mid speed reel, a 7. You don't want something too fast like a top or like an 8 series reel. That's too fast for these swim baits. And as far as the rod goes, you want something a little bit longer. So when you know, if you have this heavy bait 80 yards away from you and you try to set the hook on a rod that's not heavy, it's not going to go well. You're not going to get that punch set in that fish. So you want a heavy rod, little heavier line, and a medium action reel. So if you have questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to try to answer any questions you might have on it. But that's what I'm throwing, a Dobbins Fury series Daiwa Tatula 200 reel, and it works great. So having said all that, they are fun to fish. It takes a little bit of getting used to. When you're used to throwing a drop shot or a Texas rig out there and you hear it go bloop in the water, it's a nice soft fall. And then you throw one of these mamma jammas out there and it's like throwing a lead bucket out in the water. And it's different. So you have to get used to it. But you can really go down a rabbit hole with these things. There's so many of them on the market. But they are fun to fish if you're getting into it. You know, you can get a couple smaller ones. 6 Sense makes like a 6-inch swim bait now that, you know, you don't have to go out and buy a dedicated rod and a reel to throw them. So they are getting to the point where, you know, it's a little bit more affordable, but there's still expensive ones out there. But you know, just because it's expensive doesn't mean you're going to catch fish. Get something with a little bit of action. I'll do another video here hopefully in about another week, and I'll show you guys how to rig up these hangovers. They're pretty easy, but there's some tips and tricks that I'll show you. So that is my swim bait setup, my glide bait setup. It's been working well. I'm having a lot of fun at it. So if you're looking to get into it, I you know, just take the plunge. It's fun. You'll learn a lot, and more often than not, you'll catch bigger fish on them. So I hope you guys liked the video. Like I said, any questions, drop them in the comments. Be happy to talk about it, and hope your spring's going well and you're catching a bunch of fish. So, all right, have a good one. Take it easy.